Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 3A of our 2025 CSA season. Jumping right into this week's share, we still have a ton of greens. We have our salad mix. Our salad mix gets stored just like this once you're ready in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, throw it in a big bowl of water, cooler water, not warm water, or a sink full of water, swish it around, and then throw it in your salad spinner and get it nice and dry. You can just lightly dress this as is, or we have lots of things in our share this week that would make for a great fresh salad. You can add fruits, you can do like a chicken salad with the strawberries. We have cucumbers, we have radishes, we have kohlrabi, so lots of things you can add. We also have amazing herbs. So we have dill and basil, which would be great additions to a vinaigrette or a dressing. So those are options also. But stored in the fridge just like this. We have spinach. Again, same thing, stored in the fridge just like this. Once you're ready to use it, wash it, throw it in your salad spinner. You can eat it raw or you can cook it down. We actually sauteed our spinach from last week just with some onion and garlic and had it as a side. It is delicious both ways. I love raw spinach, but I can't remember what we had it as a side with, but some sort of grilled protein, and it was fantastic. So spinach is nice and fresh. If you still have your spinach from last week, combine them. Once you saute it down, it shrinks significantly in size. So that's our spinach. We have radishes this week. So the very first thing that you want to do with the radishes is chop off the greens. The greens get stored separately in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag. They can be sauteed, they can be eaten raw, just like any of our other greens. And I think the focus this week for the recipe is going to be greens in general. So stay tuned for that on Thursday. Our radish greens, if you're not going to use them, take them off and throw them in your freezer bag for veggie broth later in the season. Once that freezer bag gets nice and full of all your veggie scraps, it's a great use for things like this if you're not going to saute it down. Great addition to salad, the greens, chop them up. The bottoms, so those you're going to cut off, you're going to store in a Ziploc bag in the fridge separately. You can thinly slice them and add them to salads. You can pickle them. That's probably one of my favorite ways to use radishes. You can shred them. So we have kohlrabi and radishes. You could shred both of them and make like a slaw. Great topping for tacos. There's quick pickled radishes. I believe on the website there's also I'm pretty sure there's a PDF for pickling that you can use for pickling radishes also. And if you still have green garlic left, the green garlic and the radishes paired together would be amazing in a pickling recipe. So that's radishes. Also a great topping for toast. So if you're gonna do like a sourdough toast with maybe like a scallion cream cheese, then thinly slice your radishes on top of that, or throw pickled radishes on top of it. So think outside the box when it comes to radishes. They're delicious. Also, if you're not a fan of radishes, please try roasting them. They're amazing roasted. Okay, those are our radishes, and let's see. We have scallions again. So our scallions are large this week, at least mine are. Throw them in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Keep them cool. And then you're gonna chop them up and use them either as a topping on top of a salad or on a garnish on top of quite a few dishes, or as a light onion flavor in any dish. If you wanna preserve them, you can dehydrate them. And I showed a couple weeks ago a jar of dehydrated scallions that I've saved. They're great in soup. They're great as a topping. They were also used in our cilantro lime rice. So if you still have cilantro left, use them in that. But stored in the fridge. Okay, we have strawberries. The strawberry fields are very wet, so make sure you wear appropriate footwear to pick the strawberries, but they are abundant. These get stored in the fridge. Do not wash them until you're ready to use them. Last week's recipes showcased our strawberries. So strawberries can be used raw, they can be eaten just like they are, they can be thrown on top of salad, but they can also be roasted. And the roasted strawberry recipe from last week was amazing. We actually roasted both quarts. I still have 1 quart that we're working through right now, but we've been using it as a topping on top of ice cream and also on top of yogurt with granola, so like parfaits. It would be amazing on top of so many different things. But that is delicious. And then the other part of that recipe was strawberry infused whipped cream. So that was really good also. And my kids loved it. Great for baked goods. If you are finding the strawberries in abundance and you are super busy and not going to eat them, then wash them, chop them up and freeze them. They're great in smoothies and they're great to use throughout the winter. Do not throw out your strawberry tops. There's a recipe on the website for strawberry top vinegar. So I used all of our tops from last week to make that as well. So store it in the fridge. If you can keep a paper towel or like a colander to keep them out of their own juice, they'll last a little bit longer, but definitely something you want to use while they're nice and fresh. We have kohlrabi. First thing you're gonna do, just like our radishes, are pull off the tops. Same thing. The greens can be chopped up and sauteed. They can be thrown in salad. They can be put in your veggie broth freezer bags, but stored separately in the fridge. The bulbs at the bottom, we're gonna store them in either your crisper drawer or in a Ziploc bag. They are delicious raw, thinly sliced on salad. They're great in slaws. If you make a slaw, you could do the kohlrabi and the radishes, do like a light dressing, maybe a lime juice, little salt and pepper, and it would make a great topping for tacos. There's a bunch of recipes on the website for kohlrabi. We have basil, so our first of the basil, and we will see this throughout the summer in abundance. Basil is delicious. Basil is our one herb that does not like to be cold, so it does not go in the fridge. I already took it out of the rubber band and put it into a glass of water, and this is gonna sit on my counter at room temperature. Basil is amazing there's a recipe somewhere for basil salt, and that's fantastic, just sprinkled on tomatoes. There's pestos, there's wonderful dressings with basil in it. Basil is just a fantastic herb. You could do like a strawberry basil. I think there's actually somewhere on the website, there's a strawberry basil ice pop recipe. So strawberries and basil go really well together. We got the first of cucumbers. Cucumbers get stored in your crisper drawer. They are so easy to use. You can chop them up and just eat them as is, throw them on top of your salads. You can pickle them. You can just have them as a snack. They would make a great addition to any of our salads for this week. We have dill. Dill gets either stored in a glass jar, so just like I did the basil, but in the fridge, or in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. It does like to stay a little bit moist, so putting a paper towel or something around the bottom would make a good idea. Basil dries really well, so you can dehydrate it. It also freezes really well, so you can throw it between paper towels and, did I say basil? I meant dill. Sorry, dill. Freezes really well and dehydrates really well. There's a recipe that I'm probably going to use this for this weekend because we have a party, for dill dip, and fresh dill makes it amazing. So that's what we're going to use ours for. You can do like a dill cream cheese. Again, fresh is best, but if you need to preserve it, then either dehydrate it or freeze it. But in a glass jar in the fridge. Last but not least, I think, are our collards. The collards are huge. So I have a large Debbie Meyer green bag that I'm gonna throw these in. They're stored just like this. Once you're ready to use it, collards can be used just like any other green. So we can chop them up and saute them. We can blanch them. They're amazing used as is, quickly blanched, and then they can be used as a wrap. There is a wrap recipe on the website, and that was posted in this week's email as well. But simple sauteed greens, there's a lot of greens that can be used for that this week. So stay tuned for this week's recipe, which will probably focus on our greens and some of our fresh items. Take a look at what you still have from last week. Please focus on that first, and then probably this week we're gonna focus on using our salad greens and our strawberries. Those are your two that you wanna use within the first few days to preserve. All right, that is it. I will see you guys all again next week. Thanks.